You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. On brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive. Stiff arms to your jaw, we breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown, we taking it.
Yo, what up, Buckeye Nation? What up, BBZ Mafia family? I'm TG. This is Sean, and we got a special guest here with none other than the father of the national champion tight end, future NFL player, G. Scott Jr., none other than his father, G. Scott Sr. How you doing, sir?
I'm great. I'm grateful to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, honored that you're here, sir. Big fan. So happy you're here.
Appreciate it. So what's up, man? I'm just glad to be on the show. A lot of energy. Seems like you guys got on the show. Come on, now that's Buckeye, and just so happen to be, I got so much Buckeye gear. I can wear Buckeye stuff every day of the week, and it still be something new. Come on,
that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So
now, I want to ask you, how's the pro day been going for how'd the pro day go for Junior?
It was excellent. It was fantastic. He had an opportunity to be back in the Woody, right? An opportunity to work out in front of pro scouts and GMs and a few head coaches, all under the national championship banner of 2024. There's 9 of them things in there.
Yeah.
And he had an opportunity to work out in there. It was grateful to be there. It was a great time. He did well. He performed well. But that's when they say developed here. That's what the Buckeyes do, right? They develop.
Yep.
And what's awesome is him and his teammates are forever going to be linked for the rest of their lives, forever as a champion, forever.
They're legends,
can't
man.
Get away from them, It's awesome.
Like the security guard said in the movie Sandlot, forever.
Yep.
Some of you guys got that, some of you didn't. It's all good.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yep.
Come on now. Hey, real quick though, I did used to date Squint's sister in real life.
Whoa.
That's a true story.
That's awesome.
That is
Yeah. But I mean, it's just random. If my wife sees this, she's gonna be like, "Why would you even tell that story?" But anyway, what else?
Hey, that's cool as heck, though, man. That's an awesome fact. I mean, not many people could say that.
Yeah. He was. Hey, real quick, in real life, he was a little punk. What was his name? I think his real name is Chauncey or something. Man, he was a little punk. All right.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what else? Here we go.
All right. Well, my question is actually, what got you in sports broadcasting?
I mean, I lucked up on it, right? I was a car detailer for many years. I started car detailing for the Seattle Seahawks back in 2003, right? I did that for 11 years. I cleaned their cars. That's how I was there. So there's many pictures of G. Scott Jr. With me, cleaning cars, detailing cars. Some kids on spring break, they got to go to Disneyland or Disney World or on vacation. Well, we couldn't afford that. So his spring break was spent cleaning vehicles over at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, which is now the VMAC in the Seahawks practice facility. Before that, it was something else. But anyways, yeah, and what got me into sports was I just tripped into it. I lucked into it. It's kind of like if I asked the two of you, and I don't know, what got you into doing this? Well, you're probably doing this because you love to talk about the Buckeyes.
Exactly.
Well, I was no different.
Part of it.
I was no different. I love to talk sports just like anybody else. However, there was a little bit of a difference because I was actually in the building 3, 4, 5 days a week, driving for some of these players. So I got to be around and see a lot of what it takes to be a professional, right? So some of those and a lot of those things that I learned being around the Seahawks facility, I was able to kind of bestow that onto my son, which is pretty cool. Next week, April 10th, he actually has a workout with the Seahawks. So how about that full circle?
Oh,
Think
that's
about that.
Cool. That's
Think
that
about
is
awesome.
cool.
He used to clean cars on spring break. Now, years later, he has the opportunity to work out. How about that?
Honestly, as a kid, I'd rather go and hang out with the NFL players and go to Disneyland myself because I was a football junkie when I was a kid. So I'd have loved that.
Everywhere.
Heck with Mickey Mouse. Take me to the football facility.
Hey, Sean, I'm with you, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, just asking, did you play a lot of sports growing up?
I
Did
played
you,
college. I played college basketball.
Ooh.
I played college basketball. I went to military school in high school, right? Went to Howe Military School in the northeast corner of Indiana, if any of your listeners are familiar with that. And after that, I went and played basketball at Tri-State University, which is now Trine College. Back then, I remember going into my senior year, the first time I was ever in Columbus, Ohio. I went to go, there was this all-star like slam and jam type deal where all of the best players from around came to play. I came there. The first place, it was held at Capital University. You guys got a Capital University in Columbus, right?
Yep.
It was held there. And I was a senior. We were getting ready to be a senior. Some of the all-star players that were there, I'm dating myself, so some of you guys might not know of this. Samaki Walker was one of them. He was a senior then. And there was this freshman. And I'm telling you, this freshman was so good. I don't know where he made it or not. His name was Esteban Weaver. And
Esteban
man,
Weaver.
oh my goodness. You guys, when we get done, you guys can look him up.
Okay.
He was phenomenal. Anyway, my point is that so that had me in the Midwest, had me familiar, right, with the Midwest. I'm born and raised in Chicago. So
Okay.
So the Buckeyes, man, that's man, here we are.
Nice.
That's
TG
awesome.
TG lives in Chicago.
I do.
Oh, you live in Chicago now?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm born and raised.
Oh, I am too. But I ended up moving out.
Southside Jeffrey Manor. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm
Mhm.
born and raised in Chicago.
So am I, man. I was born here at the Hospital of Trinity. We ended up moving out for a little bit, then we came back, and I've been here ever since. This
There
is
you
pretty
go.
much my home. No matter how bad it's gotten over the years, it's still my home.
Right.
Now, when G was young, did you put him in like Little League baseball, football, basketball? What did you try to get him centered in?
Man.
You tried all
Everything, right? If you're a parent right now and you got kids, man, put them in everything, right? You're just building up just everything, just getting to know people, being coached by different people, different sports, using different body parts, hand-eye coordination. I had him in everything. I mean, he was playing first time playing a little t-ball and basketball was 3 years old. You know what I mean?
Geez. Nice.
Oh, wow, that's
You get him doing it. Get him having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I actually have her play volleyball, basketball, soccer, and she does dance class. So
Mm.
so she's a busy little girl. So I mean, each season she has something to play. So
Yeah, for me as a kid, I played a lot of sports. I did track and field, I did flag football, I did basketball, soccer, and I actually did do a little bit of volleyball, but then I left because I don't like volleyball like that. But I did have fun playing in a lot of sports. So I can see how, like, for kids, it's super fun being in sports, especially if you're a sports fanatic like me, Sean, and you.
No doubt.
now, tell me, how old was it when you saw in G where you're like, man, he's really got the potential to take it, to go to college? How old do you think he was when you first saw him? You're like, man, I got something here.
Well, let me answer it two ways. One, I thought just because he was my son
Okay.
in the very beginning, when he was born, I thought that this is going to happen, right? Like I thought it would either be basketball or football, right? Like I just knew that. And the reason why is because, look, there's things that I went through growing up. And so there were things that I knew that I could show and do better for him coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one. But then reality hits, right? Like you don't really know if that's going to happen. when did I realize that he could actually play football in college? I don't think it was until his freshman year on the 7-on-7 circuit, right?
Okay.
Seeing him go out there and to see like him playing up against, upperclassmen and everything, and actually going out there. No, I'm sorry. 8th grade when he was playing up against some of those, and he just wasn't scared, right? He wasn't scared. His confidence, his catching ability, catch radius, and all those things. It was then I thought, oh, he could play college football. Now, did I think big time? Like when I say big time,
Ohio State,
Buckeyes, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. Did I think that? I didn't know. I mean, he should have been. I mean, let's be real. He should have been at UW. They should have all been at UW, but that's another story in itself. So, yeah, I thought 2 times that I thought when he was born, and I also thought I had confirmation when he was in 8th grade.
One more question I'll let TG ask you. And I was just wondering, how old was he when he got his first legit big offer from a school?
Yeah,
what grade was he in?
Freshman year, the University of Oregon. How about that?
Whoa.
Yeah, how about that?
Nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, my question for you actually did go back to when it's more of what was it like being in the NFL, specifically broadcasting for the Seattle Seahawks? What was that like for you?
Well, so today I'm still the game day host for the Seahawks today. I have a podcast that I do here where I talk about the Seahawks, and then I have my regular radio show. What has it been like? It's been amazing. And what's been amazing is if you think about it, in the world, right? There's only X amount of NFL football players, so that's already an elite status, right? So just imagine consistently being around people that are at the top, that are just really good. So much so, they're so good at the NFL that even if you're not as good, you could be out of the NFL. So what does that do? That makes you want to be elite in everything that you do. This is why I always preach how you do anything is how you do everything. Are you willing to be elite at those things? So how has it been being around the NFL? It's been amazing. It's changed the trajectory of my life. It's changed the trajectory of my son's life. Like, think about that for a second, right? In 2009, I was living in my car for a while.
Wow.
A football player by the name of Rob Sims, who won a national championship in 2002, was the person that took me in. Then you mean to tell me that 23 years later, that G. Scott Jr. wins a national championship with the same team? There have been three national championships won by the Ohio State in the 21st century. Rob Sims was on 2002 one, and G. Scott Jr. was on 2024. So, TG, what has my experience been like being around the NFL? The truth never expires. It's all right there.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter. You don't have to believe what I say. It's there.
Wow, that's amazing, really. That's unbelievable. I did not know that. That is such an amazing story. It really is.
Wow, that's crazy. What was it about Ohio State that drew G to it? And what made Ohio State say, I'm comfortable handing my 18-year-old son over to you guys?
Buckeye Nation is a pressure cooker. Buckeye Nation, watch this. The Dallas Cowboys got about 8 million fans or so. The Ohio State Buckeyes got like 12 million, baby. Now, let me ask you this. If the Buckeyes don't win a national championship, is it fair to say that most fans are upset?
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
yeah.
understatement.
It's an understatement, man.
Think about that for a second. There's some places around the country that are satisfied with just winning 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
In Buckeye Nation, if you don't win an Natty and beat the damn team up north, we don't even want to talk about it. Hence the reason I said to my son before the Tennessee game, before they played against Tennessee, if you guys don't win the national championship, your team never existed. Buckeyes will never talk about you again. You want to know how I know that? Because every time I run across a Buckeye fan, they don't never talk about teams that didn't win it. They only talk about the teams that won. You know what I mean? So why did I pick it? Because my son came there a young man and he's leaving a grown ass man. You understand me? Mm-hmm. I'm talking about developed. I'm talking about the person that he is after going through that pressure cooker, right? It's pressure. It's hard. It's extremely hard to play for the Buckeyes. Not just the competition, just everything. The competition, the expectation. I mean, if you're listening right now, who and what type of pressure are you under to be great? Most people don't have pressure to be great. Most people, it's crazy, right? Like sometimes people will have a higher expectation for their damn football team than they have for their kids.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. They will be okay with a child coming in with C's, but damn it, them Buckeyes better win a national championship.
Yep.
It's funny to laugh, but you're 100% right. You're right.
Exactly. That's the voice. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, you better catch that damn ball. I can't believe you suck. Oh, little Peter, it's okay that you have C's and D's.
Did you try hard? Oh, okay, that's good.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's just the effort that counts. So let me go back to it. People ask me, man, G, man, I love them damn fans. Do you know what this damn pressure cooker has done for my family? Right? Like most of the time, my son might have left off his college career and he might have been only known as a person that headbutt in the 2022 Team Up North game. Right?
I mean,
people love to come out and talk about that moment. But guess what they got to talk about now?
He's a champion.
Come on.
Champion.
Champion. And you know, you're spot on because I don't know if you know who Kirk Barden is, but Kirk Barden runs he's a former Ohio State player. He was an All-American, played for Ohio State, started 4 years for him. They beat Michigan 4 straight times, and they lost 2 natties. And he goes, you know what? No one ever talks about. They don't hang any banners for us for winning the Big Ten or for beating Michigan. We lost twice in the national championship. People don't remember our teams. He goes, and I'm fine with that. That's the way the standard is. He goes, I knew what it was when I got into it. And you know what? I'm fine with that because that's the way it should be. You should honor the people who win the natty.
Always. And that's how think about it. The 2019 team before this team was the best team in Ohio State history. They never won the natty. Nobody talks about them ever. So it's like, and real quick, shout out to Mello. He says, Senior, you need to do movies for real. Personalities electric. Thanks for coming on The Buckeye Boys. OH 2025 Natty Lock.
Okay, hey Mello. Hey, shout out to Mello though. The real Mello, right? Is getting ready to be a Hall of Famer. So yeah, shout out to that.
He's one of our he's one of the co-hosts on our channel. So he's
is he?
Yeah, him and Devin.
And Devin.
All right. Yeah. Well, shout out to them. You know what I mean? But you know, look, I'm very passionate just in general about life. And TG, your question that you asked, that is something that I actually travel and go speak about these things, right? I go speak about my story. But when you ask, what has the NFL done for you? The NFL has unlocked and made me see things that I would have never seen. You gotta think. I've been around it now for 22 years.
Wow.
22 years. I've been around the NFL. I've seen the best, right? And at the end of the day, you know, G. Scott Jr., yeah, he a dog. My older daughter, She's a federal defense lawyer in Cleveland, Ohio.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
That is awesome.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
standard, right? Like, and so I hope that people watching this, yeah, sure, the Buckeyes won, national champions, great. Sure, we're looking forward to the Buckeyes being 2025 champions, great. Use that though.
Yeah.
Use that to be like, where in my life, in my family, in my friend group, in my workspace, can I raise the standard? Don't just sit there and live off of it. Use it. I used to watch Rocky. By the way, shout out to Rocky, greatest movies of all time. I work out to Rocky. Matter of fact, when I'm done, I'm going to be working out to Rocky. I use that success story and that motivation and hype to empower and impact my life. I hope people use the Buckeyes. I hope people use the stories of Coach Ryan Day going through it, his family going through it, being talked down. Isn't it interesting? Have you noticed when you see Ryan Day speak now in his press conferences, have you guys noticed now how relaxed he is?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
No doubt.
No doubt. Like someone lifted 800 pounds off his shoulders. You know,
the world's been lifted off his shoulders.
It's crazy.
That's actually was going to tie into some questions I asked you, which was, you know, what do you think of Ohio State's culture? What is your impression of this team, the 2024 team? What is your impression of them and their culture?
Ryan Day. That's it. We can be done. None of this happens without Ryan Day. Ryan Day is the greatest thing about everything that Ohio State stands for. That man right there, there's a saying that people don't care how much you know until they find out how much you care. The reason why the Buckeyes were able to go through and go on that historic run, because after that game against the team up north, when most people thought it's over, only a real one like Coach Day can lead them to that. So when you ask me, TG, about culture, you ask me about what's my takeaway for Ryan, like people ask me, well, what about, I don't want to talk about nobody else at Ohio State culture except for Ryan Day and the players. That's it.
You know, on this channel, we interview a lot of the recruits. Mello and Devin do a great job. They get a lot of these young recruits. But we've also noticed, like, some of these kids that Ohio State's bringing in, they're so much more mature than a lot of kids. It's like they not only recruit great players, but they recruit great people. Like, you have to be a great person to come into our culture. They don't take the kids that are getting in trouble. You know, there's a certain fit that not only do you have to be a great player, but you have to be a great person too.
Well, let me give you guys a little nugget, and I'll give you some and someone to talk about. His name doesn't get talked about very often. Matter of fact, I hardly ever see it talked about, but it should be talked about more. You should guys talk about Mark Pantoni more. Mark Pantoni is a reason for a lot of this, right? Mm-hmm. He's one of the people that to this day I still have an incredible relationship today, and I had it back yesterday. People like him, when these recruits and these families, their first introduction to the Buckeye lifestyle, to Buckeye Nation, is through Mark Pantoni. So please give him a lot of credit.
Absolutely. We always do. Honestly, we're actually happy that Urban Meyer brought him over here. No doubt. He is.
Him and Nick. I mean, they're the foundation. And, you know, Ryan kept them in place, you know, when he took over. He got rid of a lot of Urban's coaches, but he kept Pantoni and he kept Mick.
He also kept Larry.
Larry.
Yeah, which actually was going to tie into, because you brought up the game. I was going to ask, what was your impression of what happened there, especially after the fact?
I thought it was over. What you talking about? Like, I don't know. Look who that team was out there. Why that happened? You know, the reason, I don't know if I can really explain that game, but I can tell you that there is an emotion that comes up in me when I talk about this game, because I think the emotion is this. I remember looking on social media after they lost that game, and I don't know if you guys saw any of this. Did you ever see people saying, there's too much spiritual stuff going on this team,
Yes, and we could not
Yeah, all the
understand.
time.
We couldn't understand what the heck people were talking about.
right?
Yeah, never
This,
could understand what they meant.
this team is soft. Did you see that?
Yeah, always.
Yep.
It's been a narrative since 21.
Right, right. This
Ryan
team
is
is
soft.
soft. This team is soft. Too much of that spiritual stuff. Too much loving the man upstairs and God, this and that. I want my football players to be tough. I want my football players to be a certain way. I'm telling you, the football team that was playing that day, everything that was happening, it felt to this day, it still feels like there was someone or something. I'm not trying to get weird on y'all.
Mhm.
That was making that go that way. Missed field goal. Like, I mean, it's the weirdest thing. I think the play, the play call, everything was just everything that could go wrong. So I don't know, but it's almost like boom, that happened. They go on this historic run, but before the historic run, after that game, they get like 2 days off, and then there is that meeting that you have all heard about, right?
Yep.
In that meeting, you have, if it goes another day, if it goes one more day before they meet, it might have been too late. The team might have splintered because you start, hey, they're human. They might see social media. Their families see social media. You guys saw social media, and you guys saw what was being said.
Yep.
Everybody was saying this and that and this and that. And before you know it, they go on that historic run. And now, when they tell that story, or excuse me, when you and anybody watching, when you tell that story, you're going to say, man, I don't know what happened. 1 minute, the team up north game, and then all of a sudden, boom, because the football experts, everybody talking about it. Shannon Sharp, you remember Shannon Sharp got on there talking all that stuff, talking about how Oregon is going to smack them? I mean, if you're an Oregon fan listening to this podcast, I mean this with all due respect. What were you thinking when the score was 34-0 at the Rose Bowl? Like you can't explain this. Like when it was 34-0, were you thinking like, who the hell is this team? Who are they? That's why I think it's bigger. It's bigger.
Oh, trust me, everybody was like, where did this team come from all of a sudden? After that, it was like, and I've always been the record saying, I think that Michigan loss is what they needed. Now, it's something that probably shouldn't have happened because you had the team to go do it. The missed field goals, I cannot explain. I don't know. Something was weird there. And I believe, and I'm not trying to make an excuse here, but if I remember correctly, Will Howard suffered a concussion after a play in which he ran because he ended up getting off the field. It was, and what's so frustrating is we got like 3 BS targeting penalties all year, and then the one time it actually happens, we don't get it called. So it's like I will never understand that one. But
I went to that game and I just sat there in disbelief, like you said. It was like the weirdest feeling at that stadium. It was like, how can this happen to this team? I mean,
right? Weird.
It was so weird.
And I'm 46 years old, and I lived through the Cooper era, through the 90s, and I saw some Ohio State teams that were really, really great, losing some Michigan teams that they had no business losing to. But I never would have thought in a million years they would have lost that game.
No one thought it. No one.
And I got to tell you, walking out of that stadium, it was brutal. I mean,
it was like a funeral.
It was brutal. What was being said, how it was being said, it was unbelievable. The things that were happening. But I'll share a story with you guys that right after the team up north game. So afterwards, the parents, they go down right through the tunnel, and we wait for the players after the game. And my son came out, and I can tell that he had tears in his eyes, right? And he doesn't usually shed tears over a win or loss. And I didn't understand what was going on. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you guys, the whole brawl thing that happened at the end, I didn't see that. I missed it because I was leaving out of where I was sitting. So I missed that the whole time. So I didn't know in real time until later. I look at that social media.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was just, and so I'm like, man, you good? He was like, yeah, I'm just disappointed. And I didn't understand that even then. And we get on the bus, and when we get on the bus, Travion is right there. And he's on the bus, and Travion's sitting down. As a matter of fact, Travion had got up, so G's girlfriend could sit down. And when Travion got up, and Travion and G were talking, and I actually stood back and I took a picture of this moment because of what they were saying. Now, I didn't take a video. I almost wish I did. But what they were saying were both talking to each other. God's got us. We're gonna be okay. It's these moments, right? It's these moments when so many people are doubting, right? And so when they talked like that, and I took a picture of it, and when they won it all, I took another picture of them when they won it all, and it was one of my things where I'll never forget how they talked in that moment after losing. They didn't complain. All they said was God has got us, and he's just talking about how we're gonna be okay and all those things. So it's just cool, man. And by the way, I know so many people, so many parents, amazing parents that were part of that team. Everybody's got a story. You know, if you're a fan, you got a story with your family. You got a story where you're watching the game at. Where were you at when they won it all? Yes, it's beautiful. Like stories that you'll tell for the rest of your life.
I mean, it was just that team had two ways to go after that game. They could either splintered, like you said, and they came together and they did what they needed to do. And that's one, you got to give Ryan Day credit and those kids credit for that culture. And I mean, you want to put them down for being spiritual, but that's what they leaned on when the times were the hardest.
Right.
I mean, if they wouldn't have been spiritual, what would have happened? I mean, they probably would have been fighting each other, blaming each other, and that team wouldn't have, probably wouldn't have got past Tennessee. I mean, honestly.
Hey, by the way, them Tennessee, I just gotta say, give a shout out to Tennessee. I think Tennessee's a good team, but damn, they ain't gonna never forget taking them shirts off and showing their chest and body. I mean, you gotta think, man. Like the internet's forever, right? Like they tell you, like they take the pictures, like they forever. Grandpa, why is there a picture of you with no shirt on and it's really cold?
Try to show that you can handle it.
Well, what's funny is they hurried up and ran back in and got him back on, though, didn't they?
Right, exactly. Which, it's kind of funny because we're talking about the Natty run. I was actually going to ask you, what was your favorite moment of G. Scott at Ohio State?
During that Natty run, that was my favorite G. Scott. I think that that dog stayed in him the entire time, right? Not that I'm counting or paying attention to stats, but he was targeted 11 times in the whole 4 games. He caught all 11. You see what I'm saying? Like he did what he was supposed, his part on the team, And if you want to ask about my favorite moment, the moment that I actually thought, oh my goodness, I think this team might win a Natty. I don't know. Tell me how you guys responded first play of the game against Oregon. And they throw that 30-yard strike to him, right? I mean, to start the opening game, 30-yard strike. And then after that, they run a play for my man JJ. So my favorite part was those 4 games, but specifically that Oregon game to start, man. Oh, wait. That 3rd down and 7 against Texas when he fought to get those extra yards. That was pretty good too. That was pretty good because in that situation, that was the reason that helped the team go forward.
Yep.
Or else they would have punted.
I mean, honestly, look at the year before at the end of the way his season ended with the headbutt and the negativity. Then he goes out the next year, and at the end of the year, what's he remembered for? Clawing and scratching to get that extra yard to help his team win a game.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way to I mean, he could have, instead of going negative and leaning on the negative, he busted his butt, went back and worked hard and turned his narrative around. And, you know, that's credit to your son.
You want to know why, Sean? Let me remind you of something. Everybody remembers winning situations. Case in point, nobody ever will remember that personal foul that Travion Henderson got against Texas. You want to know why?
Because they won.
Because they won. But
Yeah.
more importantly, right after that, before the half, what did he do? Touchdown, baby.
There is one thing I really want to ask you about, G.
What do you
I
got?
saw an interview with you and the great Tim May.
Yeah.
You were talking about after the season last year, you were talking to G about transferring.
Yep.
Some of our viewers might not seen that, but it just took me. I was just so impressed by how G was like, "No, I'm not gonna take the easy way. I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna finish what I started." And I mean, that just shows the character of your son.
It does.
I mean, honestly, Juice. I mean, much respect and props to G for that.
Burn the ships, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Burn the ships, baby. We ain't going nowhere. We right here. We staying right here. We're gonna fight to the end. And you know, I'm glad you bring that up, Sean, because think about it. We probably won't see many of that in the future. People that stick it out. People that, like, even when stuff is rough and it's hard, we are in a society today where, you know, you get an easy way out, right? We got relationships and friendships and work history and marriages and whatever. Like, it's always easy to move out, you know what I mean? But what he did, it was all on him. Burn the ships, baby. He's there to stay and fight. And he will, think about this for a second. Because of that decision, he will be a better father, better husband, better friend, better coworker, all because of that. Like, wouldn't you want to have a friend like that?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a coach in high school when I played football. He used to tell us, you know, sports teaches you, reveals character, but it also teaches you character. It's like, you know, football's a lot like life. He goes, you know, when it's fourth down and your team needs you, are you going to be there? Now, later on in life, when your family needs you or your kid's sick, are you going to be there? Are you going to step up to the challenge? That's something that always, you know, stayed with me my whole life. That what football taught me, you know, was to stick it out and be tough.
Yep. Pretty much sports does teach you that, depending where you are. If you're gonna stick it out, or you're just gonna turn tail and run. Thanks, Dennis, for the $9.99, basically $10. Thanks for coming on the show, G. I'm just down in Vancouver. The Portland Buckeyes are really proud of the PNW Buckeyes. G Jr. and Mecca and JT. We will be solidating in Seattle in September, Ohio, or should I say OH?
Yeah. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be sailgating here when the Buckeyes come and play against the University of Washington. So
okay.
That's going to be.
I figured.
That's going to be going down. You know what I mean? But Hey, by the way, is this show live?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. What's up, everybody?
Yep,
I didn't know it was live.
Yeah, we're live.
Being recording.
I have one more question to ask you quick though.
What you got?
What was the mentality like for G when they asked him to switch positions from going from receiver to tight end? I mean, that's tough to ask a kid. You know, you play receiver.
They didn't ask him.
They didn't ask him. They just told him.
No, they didn't tell him. So let me set that story straight.
Okay, love to hear it.
Richard Sherman and I were having lunch, and we're out to lunch, and he's like, "Gee, I think he should move to tight end." I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Look, the way the game is going, the way it's evolving, the way it's changing, right? Tight ends are asked to do more. It's not always the big wide position, the 6'6", 6'5" guy that's really big. Sometimes it's good to have that mismatch against that linebacker or battling against that safety, right? A lot of times wide receivers, they expect you to have that 4.3, 4.4 speed, right? Now be in a situation where you can have that 4.55, 4.6 type speed as a tight end and still do that. He's able to gain weight. He's able to get big enough. At the time, he was like 210, right? So he gains about 30 pounds or so over the time, and we get going. Now, I'll admit something to you guys. I don't think I knew or my son knew how hard it is to transcend to the tight end position, right? Because tight end position isn't just running routes. The tight end position, especially in the Big Ten, especially at Ohio State, the tight end position, you're asked to do a lot. The first thing you're asked to do is put your hand and put your face in somebody else's face, and you got to block, right? So, and by the way, you think it's easy to block? No. That's what, it's not easy at all. Like people say things like, and I get it, right? Like a lot of times people are judged, these tight ends are judged on their production and how many catches and all that kind of stuff, right? Well, the tight end position at Ohio State is a little bit more difficult than it is at most places. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of tight ends in other schemes and offenses they are able to do more than here. Here, you got some great wide receivers. You got some great running backs. So chances are you're not going to be the top option, right? So anyways, I just wanted to set the record straight on they did not come to him. He came to them.
Okay, that's good.
That's awesome. We know, you know what? None of us knew that. So thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
As a matter of fact, I actually do have two more questions, which was actually going to touch on something you had touched on, the NIL and transfer portal. What are your thoughts on the current landscape of college football and recruiting with this NIL transfer portal stuff going on?
Yeah, I wish that they would just put the money in an estate for these guys. I wish they would just hold it to their 25 years old. I would just solve that then. I would make their stipend high enough, make it to where they can, make more than they were making before. Everybody gets, they get a flat rate, they get a certain amount. And for those that are getting these NIL deals and getting a lot, I think it is great. I love that players are getting money. I just want that stuff set aside for when they're 25. Because let's be real. Do you think you do better with money at 18 or 25?
25.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hold on. Wait a minute. Here's one thing that doesn't get talked about. You know how much pressure that is on an 18, 19-year-old when they get that money and you have families? You see what I'm saying? Like Junior, my son, he got to send me $1, right? Like we go to dinner, daddy pays for it. You see? When you, I'm going to get a little deep here for a second. When you are 1 minute, you're the son, and then when you make some NIL money, you get some money, and then all of a sudden you go from son to being
the breadwinner.
You know what I mean? And so people are coming to you asking you for your opinion, asking you. So you just need to be a kid, and it takes away from being a kid. Now this happens when you become a rookie in the NFL. It is now happening earlier. Now, some of these stories have been working out great. They've been doing awesome. But some of these stories we don't know about.
Yep.
I know some stories, but some of these stories we don't know about, right? When you guys hear, you asked about the portal. When that portal happens, isn't that way more people in the portal than there is scholarships available?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in that portal. Right?
Mostly in the winter.
What's also funny is when these kids enter the portal, they have that do not contact. Well, you're not supposed to be talking to anybody. So how do you know where you're going ahead of time if you haven't been tampered with,
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
People say it's because they talk to their agents, which is the biggest loophole. That's what they say.
And man, and who your agent is can be, oh boy, that's up in the air. Everybody. So look, I love, because I don't want people to misinterpret what I say.
Sure.
I love that these kids are able to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the distribution of that money were different when you're 25. Because let me ask you this. What happens to that 18-year-old that gets $1 million or $500,000 for X amount of time? And he gets that, and then let's say football does not work out. How tough is it when they go out in the real world? And just so everybody knows, the average salary in the United States of America is $48,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to be able to make it? Because people only talk about the talent on the field. Can we talk about the mental health issues that you might have if you cannot sustain out there? Like it's real. And the crazy part is we have talked the relationship. We just been talking. People only talk about the winner. People only talk about winning situations. You don't talk about those that lost. There are a lot of kids out here that are lost, but nobody talks about them because, hey, football keeps going. So
Yep.
I hope people really take me. I hope you don't go away with, well, G. Scott doesn't think these athletes should be paid. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, truth be told, they need to be paid more. But the distribution, I would like for that to be different to set these guys and gals up for success. And I think the easiest way to do it is like, look, here's your money. It's like somebody's 401k is sitting there. It'll be ready for you at 25 years old. Go do your thing. And then at 25, you get 25 years old, you're sitting on this lump sum.
Yep, that would actually be great. As a matter of fact, there is this talk about some restrictions might be coming to NIL, which what everybody has been asking for. So, and the good thing is when you talked about mental health, that's something Ryan Day talks about all the time. That's why we're so great to have him as the head coach, because he really does care about his players. And that's why we're so happy to have him.
I think for people forget about, not only is he a great coach, but he's a great human being. And he truly does care about.
By the way, coaches that are good, that are assholes, don't last.
Yep, that's true. The last question I wanted to ask you was actually it's actually related to a podcast that we do have called Pops Pod with Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Pettijohn. They have the Pops Pod where they give advice to parents about about how to handle recruiting, NIL, all this other stuff. What would be your advice to those very parents about how to handle the recruiting, how to handle their child's college life as well? What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, that most of these coaches don't care as much as you think. Right? Most of the times you're just a transaction. There's not a lot of Ryan Days out here. I can tell you right now. If not for Ryan Day, my son does not continue at Ohio State. Ryan Day was there for my son. Also, when you're making the decision to commit to a school and you decide that's the place that you want to be, you need to think bigger than, and I know it's easy for me to say, but this is the truth. You need to think bigger than this position coach. You need to think bigger than wins and losses. You need to think bigger than the NFL. You have to understand that this decision that you make and are going to make is 10 times more important than you think. And right now, unfortunately, we have a lot of families that are making decisions based on right now money. You're making these decisions now. Is that decision best for you, or is it best? Because sometimes all money ain't good money.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So that's my message to families that's going through this recruiting process. It's 10 times more important than you think. All money ain't good money. And sometimes that little bit extra money, or that little bit of this agent or that trainer or somebody else getting that side money, because everybody got their hand in the pot, right? Sometimes that can really fog your decision. Have you ever boiled water in a pot?
Sure.
When you boil water in a pot and you look down at it, it's hard to see inside of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's hot. That's because it's boiling. That's because it's going. But once it calms down and it stops boiling, you will then be able to see how clear the water is. Stop making these decisions when the water's boiling.
Wow.
That is great advice. I think a lot of parents should take to it, because two examples I can give is Zahir Mathis and Jordan Davidson. Both of them really wanted to be at Ohio State, but their parents forced them to go. People around them forced them to go to Oregon and Maryland for more money. Now, I think with Maryland, Zahir Mathis has a chance, but still, and with Jordan Davidson, things might not work out for him. And it's all because Oregon was just giving him a bag. I always have said this. All money ain't good money. Just take a chance and earn it. Like, learn how to handle yourself. Because if you get out in the real life, you're not going to make it. It's going to be real hard for you to really make it, because you're not going to have that. And as Tyler brought it up, Naheem Offord as well. Yeah, I think that's the most fantastic advice, and that's something everybody should follow.
I mean, a lot of these kids, I feel bad for them, because some of the parents are just auctioning these kids off like a piece of cattle. I mean, it's just like highest bidder, and it's horrible. I mean,
and some of these kids make decisions based off like their family livings as well, because sometimes they want to try to get their family out of the hole they're in. So that's understandable too. But you also got to think long term still.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough, man. But life's tough, ain't it?
Yep,
exactly.
I mean, like
it really is.
It doesn't matter who and where you are. Finances is tough. Work is tough. Family is tough. Everything, man. Life's hard, right?
Yep.
That's why. So why make sure you got this. When you got this and you got that mental clarity, man. Look, by the way, I go to therapy every other week, baby. Why? It's like brushing your teeth. You don't brush your teeth once a week, do you? Nah. You got to take care of them things. You got to take care of this. When you take care of this, matter of fact, when we're done working, when we're done talking, I'm getting ready to go to the gym and work out. But this, and I'm not just, look, guys, I'm not just saying this. I'm being for real. I don't want to get all weird on you guys, but mental clarity, your mind, mental health is so important. Sometimes you got people, and by the way, I've been there before. When you wake up in the morning, even if it's sunny outside, it still seems gray. I've had those times in my life when you wake up and you just can't get right. No matter what you do, no matter what somebody says, it's just gray. Man, get that mental clarity right. Get that therapy. Get to talking to somebody. It's so important. And that goes for parents, and especially goes for our young men and women that are playing college sports, because I'm telling you, it's extremely hard on them. Just imagine doing your job every single day, and then they get on and they say, man, did you see TG today? Man, TG was on that bullshit today. Man, she was tripping. She didn't really get it. Hey, my man Sean ain't like he used to be. You know what? They got some new recruits that's going to replace Sean. Sean is trash.
Sean needs to go. Yep.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
You ready for this? That lasted 10 seconds.
Yeah. Imagine if it lasted weeks, hours.
Right. Jeez.
Wait. And here's the thing. The same people that when you got on social media, they were loving you. They were, oh, TG, we can't wait for you to come. Oh, we love you. You're the best. You're the best. And Sean, we can't wait. You're going to be so awesome. And then you make that mistake. And it's like, man, you trash, TG. You trash. Sean, I don't care nothing about you. Your mama, your daddy, your auntie, I can't stand you. Go die. Go do this. Go do that. And then people say, man, what happened to TG? Why is TG struggling? Why is Sean struggling? Well, I don't understand. Why are they mentally weak? Why did they drop that pass? Why did they miss that field goal?
I wonder. Yep.
Hey, yeah, that's exactly what been happening, man.
I tell you what, it's amazing.
That's
It's
fan base
amazing.
for you.
It's amazing that Coach Day donates so much money to mental health, and he makes it a priority for that team. I mean, a lot of people forget about what he did for Harry Miller. I mean, Harry Miller was a 5-star lineman who came to Ohio State and was severely depressed and was actually cutting himself and was in a bad way. And Ryan Day took him under his wing and helped the kid. I mean, he could have just said, well, you're not playing football for, I mean, Harry never played again. And he could have just said, well, you're not playing for me anymore. What good are you to me? But not Ryan Day. He took him in like a son.
Mm-hmm.
And he helped save that kid's life. I mean, not all coaches would do that.
And Ryan Day understands the experience because he lost his father to suicide. So he gets it more than anybody. It's like, even if that hadn't happened, he still would have cared because he cares about people. I mean, if you listen to Travion Henderson's story, he talked about some of the issues he had and how much he talked to Ryan Day. And Ryan Day took him under his wing like a son and helped him out. That's how all the players say about Ryan Day. He's the best coach, and they would fight tooth and nail for that man because he's like their second father, literally. You couldn't ask for something like that.
Hey, Sean and TG, everything you guys said is 100% true. But let me tell you and show you how life is a game of inches. If Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes don't win a national championship, I don't think Ryan Day's here anymore. And none of these stories that you're talking about and his love for mental health even matters.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares. Nobody cares unless you win. That's the truth.
Yep.
100%.
100%.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, thanks, Mello, for the twos. Senior just gave you to the pink slip, LOL.
Hey, matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a thing together and I'm gonna rank all of Buckeye media. Who's ranked number one and who's ranked dead last in Buckeye media. I'm gonna do that, right? Like this person right here, I don't know.
I guess we're not Buckeye media, we're just podcasters. We're fans, so good thing about that.
Hey, I tell you what though, I want you guys to know this. I love all you guys. I love all you guys that are so passionate about the Buckeyes. I'm grateful for all of you because it's people like you. This is why the Buckeyes are a brand, because of streaming and podcasts like this. You guys talking to a father who, I'm just Joe Schmo. Nobody, whatever about me. But the passion that you have to know, like, hey, here is a dad that really cares about Ohio State football. So for you and anybody watching, man, keep it up. That person, the Portland Buckeye down in Vancouver, that's awesome. You know, it really is, because every time I wear this, I hear OH, baby, and I hit them with the IO. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing.
We appreciate you so much, and thanks for coming on. Maybe we can get you to come back on with Junior sometime.
Yeah.
On here.
Yeah, I would love to see G. Scott Jr. and like even get his backstory into Ohio State. See how his is like from his perspective.
No doubt. Well, I have fun with you guys, man. It's been great.
We appreciate it, and thank you so much for getting back to me. I mean,
got it.
I was nobody, and you just said, "Hey," you answered me like I was one of your friends, and I appreciate it, man. Seriously, it meant a lot to us.
Y'all, hey, look here. I've been hanging out with y'all an hour. I got love for y'all.
And all the people in the chats want to thank you for coming on, and they all love you too. And we just want to make sure you tell G Junior thank you for all that he's done for the university and these last 4 years. I mean, putting it out in the field. We appreciate what he did, and best of luck to him. And hopefully he gets a good fit in the NFL where he can have a nice long career and be successful.
Absolutely. He's the most underrated Buckeye. And Chris Lane, thank you for the 2. We all love you too. Go Buckeyes.
Hey, so that's what happens. People just throw a couple bucks to say something. That's cool right there.
Yeah, it's a super chat. It goes to our channel and to the podcast, so we can pay to keep it going, keep the show going. So
hey, look here, you can't do this stuff for free. So
exactly,
that is love. Hey, you guys keep going. Look, just make sure when y'all get big time, y'all don't forget about me and
Never.
bring me back on at some
Never.
point. You know what I mean? Bring me back on. We'll
Of
come
course.
talk some stuff, especially when the season is here. We got
Yep.
the spring game coming up, April 12th. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Watch out for that number 5. Watch out for that receiver. Ooh, Mr.
Yeah.
Martin Graham.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Wee.
Before next season starts, we'll have you come on before the season starts, and we'll talk about the upcoming season and have you come back on.
No
You're
doubt.
willing to. We'd love to have you come back, man.
All right.
Absolutely. I enjoy talking to you. You got as much. You're like people in the chat here literally be saying that you and me are just the same as far as personality.
Oh, so I can't see the chat. I can only see when they do the super thing, right?
Yeah, we're on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
It's on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
Well, you probably can't see it if you go over and do the because
All right.
I actually figured out how to watch it when you do the chat
All
over
right.
here.
So where's you guys on YouTube? Where's that? Where can I find you?
The Buckeye Boys.
Buckeye
Sean.
Boys.
Sean Schrock 45. Of course, I follow you and you follow me. And before you leave, how can everybody follow you? Plug what you're doing,
Yeah.
please.
Oh man, go look up the Reset. The Reset with G Scott. That's my podcast right there. And then that's my on my side deal. And then I have a regular radio show, KairoRadio.com over there here in Seattle. That's my full-time job.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yep. So man, hey, it's been real. I'm gonna check you guys out. Oh, you guys do got a lot of oh, I see it right there. A lot of people on this chat.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Hey, you know, sometimes, hey, ATG, sometimes the unks of the world, you know, they ain't really technically, on the technology. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I tell you what, we have shows like almost every day. So I mean, Mello and Devin do a lot of shows. Me and TG do a couple shows. Please hop in the chat and talk to us. We'd love to have you hop in and just chat with everybody. I mean, just a bunch of great fans, and we know we'd love to talk to you. So
Well,
more
no
than
doubt.
welcome.
And then follow me on X too. The
Yep.
G Scott Senior. You know what I mean? I talk to you. I love my
Yep.
Buckeyes.
That's how I found you, and you follow me back and you talk to me. So I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, like I said, I'm
Alright.
still in the mix of creating my social media, so I'll follow you when I actually get it up.
All right.
So-
hey,
so-
blessings, y'all, and go Bucks.
Thanks again. Hey,
Thanks
before
again,
you
man.
leave, OH.
IO, let's go,
Let's
baby.
go.
See you guys.
See ya. Thanks again.
See ya. Oh man, that is
Wow.
awesome having a guy like that on this podcast. That's awesome.
I hope everybody enjoyed it tonight, man. What a treat. My gosh, what a great show. So much fun. Everybody that watched the whole time, thank you for all the super chats. Thank you again. TG, you got anything you want to say to our family here in the podcast?
Absolutely. Here's my final words. It was great talking to Mr. G. Scott Sr. I hope to have him back on the show. This has been awesome podcast. You guys this has been absolutely fun. I can't wait to get him back on here and really have some chatter because it ain't to be interviews. We could just straight up have some football talk. Can't wait for that.
Again, till next time, guys. I'm Sean. That's TG. OH.
Oh.